everyone, and welcome back to Universal Love Law. Today I'm going to be making a video all about Sagittarius and Venus. So if you're the lucky one who has a Venus in Sagittarius, I just want to start by kind of stating the qualities of Venus and what Venus does. Sorry. So what Venus does is basically it is a tool that we all have. It's like an inner compass that is activated whenever we feel stimulated in an area of love, where the heart is, any area where pleasure is, or anything dealing with like a desire in you. Not so much like the Mars energy, but it is a stimulus. It's a tool that's stimulated and activated, okay? So sometimes the Venus isn't activated. It's a personal planet that is activated usually during interactions with people and things of that nature. So, or even personal things that you might do that give you a sense of pleasure, okay? These are your style and grace and how you carry yourself. Maybe your response in romance, in the romantic sector area, whatever, and just all things you find beautiful and all things that you appreciate, okay? So when we're talking about Venus now, we want to acknowledge that Sagittarius brings forth a noble justice, order, belief system, higher learning energy. It brings forth Jupiter energy, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So if you have your Venus in Sagittarius, your love style will be in a Jupiterian way. So you will expect people to be, you appreciate people who are honest, people who don't make you feel like you need to be tied down or wanting to have interior motives. The Sagittarius archetype, that person, the Venus in Sagittarius person, they have these spiritual gifts and abilities to feel out their lover, and it's in a fiery, passionate way. It's not like an emotional way, but they kind of can see the truth. It's like they have clear vision when it comes to people that they're dealing with. They're able to tap into a person's intentions and things of that nature, because it's a lot of logic mixed with intuition. It's like that in between, because it's fire, so it's purity. It's seeing things for what it is. But the thing too is it's mutable in nature. So in relationships, typically the Sagittarius Venus person likes a lover who can take charge and like going places. Let's do this, let's do that, let's go out here. And like, they like people who are life of the party. They like people who have a sense of freedom, like no strong strings attached. They prefer people who are very easygoing and wanting to be have dreams and goals. Now Venus in Sagittarius people will kind of not really like a very clingy lover. So if your love language is like typically very smothering, like in a sense where you just, you're a lover, like a love bug, like you just want to be around your lover all the time, or you want to always talk to them all the time, or you want to always go out with them and always have their time, that can really frustrate the Sagittarius Venus person. The Sagittarius Venus person might take a while to tell you, or they might not, because they're also very straightforward with their lovers, and they feel as though they're doing you a justice if they're straightforward and honest. Now if they're holding back, that's an insecure Sagittarius Venus person, and they're not in a really good state. And those are people who will take off too. So you want to watch out for if you're in that insecure state and not feeling confident being straightforward, because you do want to watch how you say things. But as long as you're saying them, 9 times out of 10 what you're saying is needed to be understood and learned. Like, also the Sagittarius Venus person wants to learn from their partner. They want to teach their partner. They want that sense of give and take when it comes to relationships. They want to understand something, learn something, master something with their partner, take something up fun with their partner, plan trips. Traveling is very important to a third house. Excuse me, what did I say third house for? Maybe because that's short distance travel, but sorry. Sagittarius Venus lovers like to go out and experience the world with their partners or even their group of friends, because remember, it's not just all about relationships with people on a one-on-one level. When it comes to Venus, it's just what you naturally pick up. It's your tool. It's like, whoa, that just turned me on, or oh, I feel pleasure when I hang out with my friends and we plan trips. Like, that's something where your Venus is being activated. So let's say it is from a friend's point of view. Like, you have a friend that's a Venus in Sagittarius for your cross watchers, or you have friends in your Venus in Sagittarius. You might find pleasure in Sagittarius type things. So learning things with your friends, signing up for classes, or going to paint and sips, or doing something where it's fun, light, and exciting, and you're able to learn. Okay, these are boisterous when it Venus in Sagittarius, boisterous people when it comes to the art of love. When it comes to the art of anything that's fun, they're not the ones that are super quiet. Well, it does depend on their sun and all those things. Now, let's say you do have a very earthy or watery or introverted signs in your chart, dominant personal planets. Like, let's say you have sun, moon, rising, Mars, and those personal planets in more introverted signs. That Venus in Sagittarius will give you a light, like will give you that fire, will give you that ability to feel the passion. Even if you're not expressing it, you will learn a way to express it. So also Venus deals with expression, okay? Not always on a verbal communicative level. Like, the act of doing so is something that is an act of showing that you care. It's the way that you express your appreciation. So the act of doing something, giving someone your time, giving someone the ability to share space with you, that is a privilege for someone that's a Venus in Sagittarius, because that's the way they show that they appreciate you. If they're giving you time, if they're in constant contact with you, because they need space too, because they don't like to feel like you're consuming them. They need to feel free in relationships, like any relationships that they have, or anything that they find as a fun hobby that gives them pleasure. They might be inconsistent with it. Like, they might end up, starting something that they really, really love and it brings them happiness, but then stop and then come back to it later because they miss it. And it's just, that's just the way that their love language is, like what they're into and what they appreciate and what they're valuing and things of that nature. That's the way that they show their appreciation, is just sharing that space and time to experience. Living in the moment is so keen to a Venus and Sagittarius person. They like spontaneousness. They like to plan something when you with them, okay? So if you're someone who is a Venus and Sagittarius person, you may learn over time that it's better to just go with the flow of things. That goes back to the mutableness, being spontaneous, reacting with your fiery passion in the moment will help you to be more, less uptight, because when you're always planning this and this and this, actually, in a sense, Sagittarius does like to know what they're aiming towards, because you got to remember, anything dealing with Sagittarius, there is a goal. Like, there's an ultimate goal. Like, they don't just do things for the sake of just doing it or whatever. Like, they do it with intention, but being calculated about every step of the way that is where the Sagittarius Venus person can kind of find a dis-ease and not that harmony. So if you're out on a trip like with Sagittarius and you have the plans all like in your mind, keep them in your mind. Just note that, okay, we're going here. If they mention, okay, we should get gas prices, okay, let's go. Like, it should be something more natural and free flowing, because if you're constantly telling them, okay, now we're about to do this, now it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I need to get away. Like, I need to get away. I need to do this free and flowing. Free and flowing is what the Sagittarius archetype Venus person wants. They want something in relationships or hobbies that is free and flowing and not feeling like it's confining them or forcing them. They want to learn things when they're ready. They're like those, they're the wise children. They're those old souls that are just young in spirit, meaning they have that youthfulness that is eager to learn, but quick to, you know, gain boredom of something, because they want it to be free flowing, and they want it the purest, most authentic experience. Okay. And so for some reason, okay, so when a Sagittarius Venus person is mad, you know, because they will kind of ghost, they will distance themselves, they don't like to feel trapped. And the best thing you can do, honestly, is just let them go. Let them be. You know, come back around in the future, but not intensely. Like, you know, they do like to talk things through eventually, because when a Venus and Sagittarius person is set in their way, like of how they feel and things of that nature, then you gotta just allow them to, you know, feel that, and let them feel like they have that freedom, because a lot of the times they do things for the sake of the group or the friend or the lover. They just do it because they're mutable. Like, they'll go with your flow because they like to interact, they like to mingle. Venus and Sagittarius people love connection. You know, Sagittarius is in general love connections with who they choose. Because you ever meet that really stubborn, mean Sagittarius Venus person, it's because they don't want to deal with everybody. They don't want to feel like they're giving their all to anybody. But when they do find the people that they want to give their all to, whether it be a sibling, whether it be friends, whether it be a lover, whether it be someone that they are partners with, whatever, anything dealing with another person or a group of people, they are going to naturally be loyal and want a consistent relationship that feels like there's no strings attached, and feels like you have your own set of goals, I have my own set of goals. We're just dealing with each other because we have the meeting of the mind. Okay, the Venus or the meeting of the spirit. We feel good together. We feel good. Let's go paint the town. Like, this is a type of energy that a Sagittarius Venus person will bring forth. And so, but they need people that do not make them feel like they're obligated to. That's why when it comes to plans, just make it happen. You know, if you know your partner has, or a friendship or something has a Venus in Sagittarius, be spontaneous. Because usually 9 times out of 10, they go with their gut. Like, you'll be going somewhere and they'll see Starbucks and be like, oh my God, can we please go there? Like, that's how Venus and Sagittarius all the way. Okay, so let me know what you think about this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and peace.